Hey there, so this is a video response. Actually, it's a video response to a really great YouTuber and a great friend of mine, TJ Pyramid, who asked, so what do you think are going to be like some modern day classics, like 20, 30 years down the road? Kind of like Casablanca stuff, I guess, and then horror stuff, maybe like Dracula and stuff like that too, or even the cult comedy stuff like that, because I on that. And well, that's the way I took it anyway. And I just finished watching another great YouTuber and a really great friend of mine, Falgar, 517. He did a great response to it. So I thought, I'd do a quick response. I got a ton of stuff to show you that I would consider modern day classics, and each for different reasons. I'll go through it really fast. By the way, if you're not subscribed to TJ Pyramid, great YouTuber, great channel, great friend of mine, go watch this response. Give it a like, sub to me if you haven't, and share it. And then go over to TJ, watch his video, give a response, like, sub, the whole works. Same thing with Falliger517, and same thing with the TJ Pyramid's wonderful wife and really great YouTuber as well. The #1 Vincent Price fan, Ned the Creepy Monster Squad. So here we go. Without further ado, I'll start with the most obvious one first. Not my favorite films, but my better half's favorite films, and I cannot deny the masterful work that was put into this stuff, and it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I want to sit down and watch these and get a true appreciation and understanding for them, because I have never actually given them their due, and I'll be totally honest there, which I have to do, because I know that these are amazingly crafted films and something that I would really appreciate if I got my sat down, spent the time to look at them. Really haven't had the time. Next up is one that, along with the Burton films, which are already I consider classics, but the Burton Batman films, Batman and Batman Returns, are automatic classics. I'm not going to get my Batman Anthology right tonight, but those are ones that I put on the list. And this one right here, The Dark Knight. As much grief as you've seen me give The Dark Knight on here, this is an amazing film. The acting is top-notch. The writing is fantastic. There's some great direction in this film. Yes, it has problems, but it's a superhero film. They all do. It's not the realistic film that people like to think it is, but it is a really well-done film, and it deserves to be considered a classic. Next up was another one by the same director, and a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on this one, but I thought it was a brilliant film, and I thought it was a modern-day Dark City, and Dark City is another one that will go on the list of sci-fi classics that I think down the road people are going to be rediscovering over and over again, and seeing exactly how well that film was shot. And this one here is Inception. I loved Inception. I know a lot of people didn't like this film, but I thought it was great. I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I thought he did a great job in this. Of course, he's got his usual cast like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Really looking forward to seeing Sandman. Now you want a comedy classic, something that kind of like Airplane type of thing. It's going to be Airplane's another one. It'll be kind of a cool classic down the road. Like people are going to be looking at and rewatching. Going to see a lot of college campuses rediscovering this film and watching it, and that is Black Dynamite. An incredibly funny, just on the nose satire that works all the time. I never wastes a second of time. It's just extremely funny all the way through. Trust me, this is another Rocky Horror thing. It's going to be a cult classic. I want to do an animated one. There's a few that I could have done, and I think this one's already a classic in a way, but down the road, is this going to be? This is a timeless film, and it's My Neighbor Totoro. Great film, amazing animation. There's just something enchanting about this film. No matter how many times I see it, I can watch it over and over again. Next up is one that I got from Nathan, a Blu-ray Anonymous. Actually, I won the contest. This is how I really got to meet him, and you've been talking back and forth ever since. So, Mud, an amazing coming-of-age film. Matthew McConaughey is fantastic in this film. I think this is I think this is a modern day classic, and that is going to be revisited over and over again. Just such great, strong performances. I don't think it's going to be lost in the crowd over the years. Like they said, a newly minted American classic. I totally agree. Mud is one of those films. Some people consider the next one a classic already. I think it is. But, we're going from, it's going to be a classic 20, 30 years down the road. And I love Scorsese and Taxi Driver. Actually, almost anything Scorsese I do love. I think Martin Scorsese is one of the greats in filmmaking. He's one of the reasons the film is going where it is today. Taxi Driver is just an incredible, incredible film. I love this edition of it. And I think it's going to be an modern day classic. This is going to be a controversial one, but I think it belongs on there. Good or bad, it brought 3D to the forefront. It wasn't the best acted at all in all places, but it really created a whole world and mythology that really works, and that's Avatar. Next up is a horror one that I like. It's already become a Halloween classic that people are watching every year. Great film. There's a sequel coming out, and that is Trick or Treat. I think that's the Thomas one. Of all the ones, a lot of people are going to disagree on. This is going to be one of the big ones, but the film's got something special, and I can't explain it. Not everybody likes it, but it has something. Pacific Rim. I think this is actually going to be one of those movies that isn't getting as much credit as it should right now, but wait 10, 20 years down the road, people, when they look at movies, like how movies should be crafted with, using a CGI, using the right style, action done right. This is a course in making an action film right. Next up is another modern day film, and that is The Conjuring. Old school ghost story that makes clapping of the hands scary as hell. Great film. James Wan has a lot that I would consider possible classics. Insidious is another one. And although not a lot of people liked it, I think Dead Silence down the road is going to gain a new audience. Maybe not a classic, but it's going to get a new audience. Of course, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, it's a classic. And as a camp cult classic, I think Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and aspects of it are going to become get people given even more appreciation for it in the cult scene. Next up is, I think, a classic horror film. The Hellings is one of them, but even more so is an American Werewolf in London. Just a great film. David Naughton, Griffith Dunn, and my favorite gal, Jenny Agutter, and beautiful special effects. Wonderful film. This is amazing in Blu-ray. Love it. Next up is one that Stephen King called a classic in its day, and I gotta agree. It's Hellraiser. Incredible film. Yeah, there was a lot of watered-down sequels, but the first couple of these are great. I actually like the second one better than the first, but this thing here is epic. Next up is one that I think Night of the Creepy Monster Squad may agree with me on. Well, at least I hope so. It's The Monster Squad, which I think is an epic, amazing film. It is a classic. I don't care what anyone says. This, for me, is... love the Goonies. This is just a little bit better. As a horror fan, I love this. It's a fantastic film. Love it. Next up is Blade Runner, Neo, our classic science fiction, amazing stuff. There's so many more to think of, but I'm going to have Star Wars, of course, there, but the original trilogy, not the new ones. And, of course, Indiana Jones. But I'm going to end with this one. Nobody else is going to say this one. But there's something about this film. It's haunting, it's disturbing. It's everything, acting, writing-wise, that down the road could become a classic beyond a lot of your expectations. Everybody has the biggies. The Lord of the Rings and stuff like this. I'm saying little films like this are ones that are going to be rediscovered, going to be seen, watched, studied, and this is a great film for that. Eden Lake, an incredible film. There's movies like Wolf Creek and stuff like that that did great jobs of what they did, but and there's movies that were just ridiculously stupid, like a Serbian film. But Eden Lake disturbs in the right ways, and it will be just as disturbing 20 to 40 years down the road. And everything here, unfortunately, will still be stuff that gets under the skin. Those are my thoughts on some classics. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think, and get over there, watch TJ Pyramid's video, then go watch Faligar 517's response to it. And I'm sure watch for tonight the Creepy Monster Squad, because I'm sure she's gonna do a response as well. And make sure you sub to those guys. Make sure you sub to Blu-ray Anonymous, who actually got me this classic one here. And just because I don't think I mentioned them enough, sub to Killer Nerd 75, and make sure you sub to Nready, two great YouTubers. Thanks for watching, and for me right now, I gotta put all these DVDs back, because once I do that, it's time for tea.